Take me home to the banks of the River Tyne. Take me home to the places I call mine. It's a place I love best, 'cause it's better than the rest. Take me home to the banks of the River Tyne. Take me home to the banks of the River Tyne. Take me home to the place that I call mine. It's a place I love best. Yes, it's better than the rest. Take me home to the banks of the River Tyne.
This year, we're not going to be relegated. I guarantee that. We're not going to be relegated.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. أهلا بكم اليوم الليلة في برنامج نيوكاسل مع وليد. طبعا الوليد and Dave show joining with Saudi supporter عبد الرحمن القحطاني. Welcome lads.
Thank you, Walid. Hi Dave, how are you?
Hi Abdulman. How are you? Hi Walid. Yes, we will not be relegated. Yeah.
We are not going to be relegated. We have a wonderful night last night, and it was amazing. And to be honest, I spent until before the show, I just joining, and I received a lot of videos and stuff about the owners in the field. They playing football, and after the great third winning in the row, it was really amazing. It's a night to be remembered. How did you see, Dave? Dave, you attend the game. Tell us how was the atmosphere last night? Before, during, after.
Before, it was as great as ever because everybody was waving flags. I met Tom before the game as well. Hi, Tom. But it was before the game. It was like waving flags. People were like a bit apprehensive because we knew we just needed a point last night. We needed a point, and that was it. I think we would have been safe. I think we were safe already, but and the game got off to a flyer as normal. You know, we were much the better team in the first half. And for when Miggy scored, the roof came off again. You know, the place just erupted. Miggy was him, and Miggy's goal took away the man of the match award from Target from me. But Miggy was everywhere. Miggy covered every blade of grass, and he was running, closing down. He was harrying. Fantastic team performance. Another fantastic team performance last night. It was a bit hairy, scary towards the end of the second half. You could tell players were tired. You could see they were tired. You know, that's our third game in the space of what?
Maybe Dave, in the second half they are tired. In first half, I think Crystal Palace was scared.
Yeah, I think Crystal Palace were scared. You're right. I think they knew what they knew what we're about. We've got the players, and Maxi in the first half was tormenting their back defenders. Their back four couldn't handle Maxi, and the midfielders couldn't handle Bruno, and Zaha, who's supposed to be, better than Maxi. No chance. You know, Zaha never got a look in. Crafty never gave him a look in all night. Crafty just kept kicking him, making him knew he was there. Brilliant game, brilliant atmosphere. What a spectacular goal. Miggy fully deserved it, and the team fully deserved the win. They played very well, very, very well. And then afterwards, to a man. I think the crowd stayed because that was special. Because we, after 14 games, we'd had 5 points and we hadn't won a match after 14 games. Yet here we are. You think on how many games we played since then, and we would have been third if the season had kicked off from the 1st of January. We would have been third and challenging for Champions League places. This is where we can be next season. This is where we can be with the right additions. We can be challenging next season, definitely, because the team we've got, Eddie Howe has made them better players.
The team, Dave, I think will be ready to fight for Champions League, but I think the club maybe itself and they didn't want to put more pressure on the team.
No,
right. So instead we're saying that it's gonna be gradual. But I think with the new rules of UEFA, we shouldn't be gradual. We should start gradual but strongly. Abdurrahman, I know you just welcome to the show, and I know that you just came from Newcastle, and you will come back again soon. How did you see the game, and did you wish you were there like me in St. James's last night?
Everybody wished to be in Newcastle these couple of games. So the game was like one of the nice game for Newcastle. They play good. They apply the Eddie Howe instruction literally, and the defense but more effort, and we hope this continue in next game in the next games. That's it for me. Yesterday I wish I was in Newcastle, because when you be in St. James Park, it is really a good chance to be with to be in the city, to be in the stadium, to see how the great fans react with every second in the game. So that's it. And inshallah, I will back again in Arsenal games if things settled.
Great. Hope this will work for you, and you will do a report for our show.
For
here.
sure.
A lot of things to talk. Yeah, go on.
Yeah, I'm just going to say it. Just because you weren't there, physically, I'm telling you now, the way Newcastle support is, we pick up on the support from everywhere, whether it's down the shops or down the pub or in the street, or whether it's in New York, whether it's in Riyadh, Jeddah. We pick up on that. We know people are enthused. We know people are excited. That comes through. And once that comes through, it comes through to everybody. So whether it's on Twitter, whether it's on Snapchat, everybody gets the feeling. So what you lads do, you're in Riyadh and Jeddah and where have you. You're excited. That's great. You're excited about Newcastle, a team thousands of miles away. That's brilliant, man. Enjoy it. Take the mickey out of the Arsenal and the Chelsea supporters and the Liverpool supporters, the Man City supporters in Saudi Arabia, because we are the best team. We have the best supporters in the whole world. We are going to be the best team in the world, bar none, in the next 5 years. And you will see it. I might be pushing up daisies by then, but at least you two will see it. And you'll see it.
I believe we will be from the top 6 or top 8 in the next season, but most probably it will be the top 6 with these new deals will be held in summer. They will do good things in that time.
People ask me to translate. It's very hard to translate during the show, but look, طبعا بالنسبه للترجمه صعب انه نترجم الان، لكن اذا في سؤال مثلا لديف او عبد الرحمن يعني حول نيوكاسل اسالونا اياه مثلا، وديف بيجاوب وعبد الرحمن بيجاوب، وان شاء الله نترجمه ان شاء الله فوري العربي. لكن انه نترجم الحديث البرنامج كامل صعب، وهذا السبب انه صار عندنا كذا برنامج. زي امس مجلس نيوكاسل كان كله في العربي، ونفس الشيء يجوني في نيوكاسل يقول ترجم وش قلت فصعب مره. alright. طيب Dave, yesterday we have a lot to talk about outside of the field, not just inside. We know that the team did great work, solid team, solid defense. We score great goal by Almiron and that great pass from Bruno Guimaraes. And so starting, let's talk about the TiVo. TiVo for Saint Maximin. What do you think the reason of this TiVo and his tweet? Is it something of translation? Is he saying goodbye? It's I receive many concern about that tweet, and yeah, let's start with the TiVo. Why Maximin? Why now?
The
TiVo. TiVo. So TiVo, it's not okay. TiVo is the war flag. When they did number 10, we call it TiVo.
Yeah, they had number 10. No,
yeah, why?
Why? I just think he was feeling. I think he's been feeling a bit low. And a lot of people, not everybody, but a lot of people were having a dig because that they kept saying he doesn't pass, he doesn't do this, he's injured, he puts injuries on. No, I don't think there was anything like that. I just think it was Gallagher flags and war flags coming up with the idea of making them feel wanted, that he is wanted, that he's loved. And the fact is, the crowd sang his name all night last night. They're singing Alan Saint-Maximin all night. Singing Miggy. They were singing about Miggy because Miggy felt the same. So yeah, it's just making sure that Alan Saint-Maximin realizes that just because we've got a new cult hero in Bruno that we haven't forgot about, Maxi. And to put the number 10 in gold letters in the crowd was just, that was their just way of saying, you're all right with us, Bonnie lad. Yeah, so translate that into Arabic.
I will.
You're all right, Bonnie lad.
طبعا سأل ديف عن موضوع التيفو انه اللي امس ماكسيمان، انه ليش ماكسيمان عملنا له تيفو ليش الان؟ فانه جاء بعض الانتقادات الفتره الماضيه، يقول لك انه اللاعب يمكن حس انه شويه محبط شويه لكن الامانه هو تغير، صار يمرر. انا شفت حس اللعبه الصراحه، واشوف حتى لما صار يطيح في الملعب يقوم بسرعه من اول كل ضربه، يقعد يطول انه انا اتعرض للاحتكاك والاعاقه.
يبغى يشتغل بس على الفينيشنج، ولا لعبه بدا يرجع مع المجموعه اكثر؟
بالضبط. So that's why we should keep in English, Dave, because if we talk in Arabic, we will feel lost as well.
Yeah, I don't mind feeling lost. You lads feel lost when you come to Newcastle when we start rabbiting on in Geordie. So I've tried to give you lessons, but the lessons have gone by the by. We'll have to reinstate the lessons.
Yeah, I thought of that, and in the summer, there is no football. Football always take us from all our study. عبد الرحمن، أنا same question. طبعا سمعت جواب ديف. why you think this, or is he saying goodbye by tweet if you see it, or this is just as Dave mentioned?
Totally agree with Dave. This is kind of support from the war flag and from the Newcastle to Maxi to put more effort to play within the group. So I don't think so. Maxi will leave Newcastle, even his name connected with some other clubs, but none of Newcastle player will leave the club soon.
Oh, you're right. You're right. There's not many players. Everybody who felt under pressure from new players coming in, they've all stepped up to the mark. They've all realised that their position isn't guaranteed anymore. Whether that's Maxi, whether that's Almiron, whether that's John Joe Shelby or Emil Kraft, they've all put, is what we say in the UK, they've all put a shift in. They've all knuckled down and got on with getting the job done, because they realise that if they want to stay here, if they want to stay here and to be part of a very successful football club and to where we're going to be, it means they're going to have to work hard. So players like Maxi, Almiron, there's talk about Almiron going, but he's not want to go. He's not going to want to go. Bruno's talking about becoming a legend. He wants to become a legend. He said it on Sky Sports the other night. He wants to stay at Newcastle to become a legend. Do you not think they all want to do that? I think they do.
Dave, you're 100% right. You notice that everybody's talking about Bruno, and they did the Maxi, this amazing tifo, and I think you know what tifo mean now. But out all of a sudden, the one who come and really did something different, or Almiron, Miggy, he went to. You can see the pressure on the player since he didn't score a long time ago. He came and you see he jumped over the crowd and they cover him with the war flag. It was really, I think, best moment in this Paraguayan player, and also you can see that he felt kind of left out as well.
Yeah, like I said, Owlid, when we signed players like Bruno, Trippier, when we've brought in Target, we brought in Dan Burn and Chris Wood. When we brought those players in, players who were always comfortable playing under Steve Bruce or under Rafa Benitez, they always knew they would get a game. But because Eddie's come in and he's changed how Joe Linton plays, Joe Linton's now an established and quality midfielder. We've got Bruno, who's a fantastic midfielder. We've got Willick, who's a fantastic midfielder. So Almiron suddenly felt threatened. His position was threatened, and he ended up being on the bench more times than what he wanted to be. And when Fraser got injured, that gave Almiron the opportunity to show what he can do. And that's what he's done since he's come back. He's looked head and shoulders above where he was at the beginning of the season under Steve Bruce. He's done so much hard work, and his goal paid off for him last night. That hard work that he's put in, he's running around, he's chasing, he's hurrying, he's defending, he's attacking, he's supporting the front. Everything came out, and like I say, the shirt got ripped off because yes, he's overawed. He's excited, and the frustrations all came out last night. The top came off, and So we want all of our players to be like that. We want all of our players to realise that there's no guarantee of ever getting a start, because if you start thinking you're going to be guaranteed a position, then that's when performances will falter. Lascelles is not going to play again this season, because Dan Burn is brilliant. Dan Burn and Shaw play perfect together.
Dave, there is before I go to Rahman about this same topic, how we can, from your opinion, how do you think that Eddie Howe and the management will deal with the players who really want to stay at the club? I'm not saying I'm not specified any name, but they want to stay, but I don't know how to say it. But the club maybe wants someone better.
Yeah, well, that's
or targeting someone better. How weird situation. How we do this?
That's where we've got that that privilege now, that we can now say that we're going to sign better quality players. Your Man Uniteds and Liverpools and Arsenals and Chelseas, They've always done that. They've always signed the best players. Let's not forget Kevin De Bruyne. Kevin De Bruyne was at Chelsea before he got sold back to Germany. So and then he came back to Man City, and he was a 10 times better player than he was when he was at Chelsea. But when he was at Chelsea, they brought in a better player to replace when they got rid of him. They brought in Hazard. Hazard was there, and so they got rid of De Bruyne because they didn't need De Bruyne. But now you couldn't see De Bruyne. It's got to be one of the best players in the world, or certainly was a year ago. So we've got to be prepared to think that there's players in our team who will have a value, and will have a value not in terms of monetary value, but they'll have a value in what they can bring to the team. And that's what they've got to look at. There's going to be players. There's going to be a number of players in that squad who will be leaving. We know that. We know there's going to be a number of players in that squad who are going to be leaving. We can only have a 25-man squad to play in the Premier League. Now that doesn't mean we only have to have 25 players. No, it doesn't. But what we need to have is those players who, if need be, can step up into that position. And if the players that we currently have aren't good enough for that, and don't put in the performances regularly like they're doing now, you can't just expect Almiron to put in 2 or 3 games of exceptional performances if he doesn't do it every week. Because if he does it every week, he's going to stay. But if he doesn't do it every week, then we have to look at bringing in players who can. So and that goes for people like Callum Wilson. That goes for the same people like Miggy, same as John Joe, same as any player, Dubravka. If you can't put in the performances, then don't be expecting to be guaranteed a place in that squad, because there will be somebody out there better who we can bring in. And then, so this is where players are going to have to look at themselves and say, can I give 100% every game? And if they can't, then they've got to expect that they'll be make weights for new players.
Great, Dave. Abdurrahman, how you see this competition? Everybody want to prove that he deserves to stay. How do you think the club will manage that?
This is the new project for Newcastle. If you want to stay, you need to put more effort. To as Dave mentioned, you need not to put 100%. You need to put 200% to guarantee your place in the game. So this is like, if you want to stay, you need to play within the group. You need to apply the Eddie Howe instruction. And I have nothing more than Dave said. So that's it.
What do you think?
What do you think, Audi? What do you feel about that?
Actually, I'm asking.
No, you keep telling me to ask you questions, and I am asking you a question.
I'm joking.
I am a co-host on this program.
I know. So what's the question?
So come on, what do you think? Do you believe that we should retain all the players that we currently have in the first team?
Okay,
despite that they might not give 100%, 200% as Abdullah is.
I think most of the player giving 100%. We see Crafter, he's different player. Sharp, different player. Shelby, different player. So Almiron, I think they're able to stay, but the question, are they gonna accept that maybe they will be benched? If I am Eddie Howe, I will sit with the player, and they will be honest, and they will say, because Eddie Howe, same kind of coach, he's stick with not like Guardiola. He different. And Guardiola, he have maybe only Bruyne and Ederson who are fixed. Other players, they are changeable. But Eddie Howe,
he rotating the player.
Yeah, rotation. But Eddie Howe seem not. I don't know, but I can't tell that he didn't do that. He fixed with one lineup, and only change if there is a loss or maybe injury, and if that happen, he changed the player. So if the players, I think like Maxi, Almiron, they are fine if being benched sometimes, or maybe they are not, then they can stay. But some players, especially in because Almiron and Miggy, for example, and Bruno, they are in the prime. They're prime. They can't be benched.
No.
And even he can't be benched because if they are off the field long time, their level become low, and the market value as well. So here is the challenge. It's up to Eddie Howe. If he can say, Eddie Howe will have lineup, and he know who will, he have an idea who's joining us in the summer, and he have pretty much idea who will be in the starting lineup. So usually the talks between the manager and the players, he said, okay, listen, like it's Suarez, for example, in Barcelona, they tell him, you will not be, you can stay, you will be, but you will not be priority in the starting lineup. Here, Suarez decide to leave. So this is the thing. Sometimes the player want to stay. Maybe the coach want the player to stay, but it's not. You are the lineup. Starting lineup is very important at players. So this is the most difficult part.
But the only thing, I understand where you come with that. The thing is, has Eddie Howe had that level of quality players currently in the squad that he could rotate? No, which is why he's kept a fixed team.
Yes, that's the best. Exactly.
If he's got more players around him, then he may rotate. That might mean players like Maxi. It might mean anybody will have to spend some time on the bench, unless they are. Ronaldo. Look at Ronaldo. How many times Ronaldo's been benched this year? Ronaldo's been benched quite a bit. Pogba's been benched.
You are right. You are right,
benched.
because we didn't have backup, but this is what I felt. This is what I saw, that he's kind of like to fix with the land. This is just expectation.
But another big thing for next season as well. Don't forget, the Premier League we have got 5 substitutions from next season, thanks to teams like Man City and Chelsea and Arsenal and Liverpool saying that they needed to have 5 substitutions to keep all their best players happy, because they weren't getting a game. Some of the players weren't getting a game because you only have 3 substitutions. So now you've got 5 substitutions. To me, that's going to spoil the game. That will spoil the game, 5 substitutions. Because you can imagine you could change your team at half time. You could bring on 5 completely different players. Man City might be getting beat 2-3-0, and then they decide to bring on all 5 best players at the start of the second half and win 4-3. You know what I mean? Because they've got all our best players. It spoils the game.
No, I think it's exciting.
But it's a way of keeping those players who don't play regularly, keeping them happy. That's why the 5 substitutes is there for. Not for any other reason.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and also the injuries, because we notice the player now players after Corona, and you say that injuries rate is increasing, and they can't play for 90 minutes continuously. Okay, we forgot to talk about this player. What do you think, Dave, and how is his performance last night?
Apparently nearly fell over at one point. But his skills, he's trying. He's getting his skills across there. He's got his shiny shoes on though. Not recommended on a football pitch. Not recommended. If he slipped, he could have broken his leg last night. Honestly, you got to have stud. He needs to wear some better studs. His studs aren't long enough for them shoes.
How do that was a surprise for us when the owners being in the field after the game, and they play some show their skills. Dave, that was. Do you think this was a spontaneous? It was a message. It was pressure release action. What do you describe what happened?
I think it was a mixture of all of that really. We've noticed in the last few games, Mirdad has taken part in war flags. He's had a flag in the box, and he's been waving his flag. Now, directors don't do that supposed thing. They're supposed to be very calm and quiet, as you remember when you were in Brighton, when Amanda's security guard told you to be quiet.
Actually,
Because you're not supposed to
he's
be
not the one
loud.
he's not the one who told me to be quiet.
But that's it. There's a protocol you've got to have in the director's box, and to see
I broke this protocol. I was shouting, "Come on, Maxi!"
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. So, but that's what's going on in director's box. And when they came down to the changing room, they had that photograph taken in the changing room with all the players, to say thank you, well done. And then they just went out on the pitch. They went out on the pitch and had a bit kick around, and spontaneous, having a bit of fun. Hey, hang on. They own the place. They can do what they want. They own it. They can do what they want. They can play football.
Yeah, I found funny tweet. Someone says, "If I don't play in my garden, where I can play or something."
Exactly. Yeah.
Abdurrahman,
every Toon supporter, every Newcastle fan's dream is to play on the pitch. They've got to live that dream. They've got
actually,
to live that
you know what, Dave? I have a great picture, and I just thought about it. I don't know why I just forget it. It's a great picture. When I do sujood like Muhammad Salah when you do and pray on the field. I just forget it, and it reminds me of it. Great. عبد الرحمن, كيف طبعا how did you see يعني as Dave this action, do you think it was planned, it was just spontaneous, it was a message, or what do you think?
Really, this is not like this is a bland thing. Like this is as a nature. Like the owner, His Highness Mr. Ramayan or Mehrdad or Jimmy Robin, they deliver message that we are with the team. We are here to support the team. Like not like the other owners for the clubs that they will give the money and then attend and that's it. No, they want from Newcastle that feel the honor with the team, and we want the team to be one of the best. Like yesterday I saw Jimmy Robin tweets and Mr. Mehrdad, they feel like they live in Newcastle. They build excellent relationship with the fans. So يعني now they consider Mehrdad and Mr. Ramayan and Jimmy Robin one of the Georges. So
yeah. The buying into the whole philosophy about Newcastle United and linking with the fans. It's not just a gimmick. It's something that means a lot to them, and they've been taken in, as you have. When you came to the city, and how welcome you were made to feel by everybody. You know what I mean? They've felt exactly the same, and we want to welcome all Saudis to come to Newcastle. We want to show all Saudis, this is what we're about. We're a family club. Yes, we like to have, we like to go and drink in the brown ale, and we like to go to the pubs, and we'll have party weekends. But we also love anybody who loves Newcastle United, and that's what it is. We love, at one time, right at the beginning, we loved Mike Ashley. Right at the beginning, we loved Mike Ashley, but Mike Ashley tried to bribe with, and that was the difference. Mike Ashley started giving free pints away before the match, so we could all go in the ground to get a free pint. But what he was doing was getting us in to get for the free pint, so we'd then buy loads of pints in the ground rather than going for a drink down the town. And then he stopped it after a while. He stopped giving the free scarves away. He stopped giving the free T-shirts away. And then, but it was just all a marketing gimmick with Mike Ashley. It's not a marketing gimmick with Amanda, Mirdad, Mr. Al-Ruyan. It's not a gimmick with them. It's real. They're actually enjoying what they're seeing and enjoying what they're doing. They really are. And I think there's more to come. There's more to come. Definitely more to come.
Speaking of Mike Ashley, I hear Henry Morris' name popped in the Twitter today. I don't know something about competition between maybe Mike Ashley and Tobai. I think Derby County or Sheffield. I'm not really sure. I've been sending this, and I promised someone to translate this live because I didn't have time. And it's very hard to translate. He asked me what been saying. This is Riyadiyya newspaper, which is #1 Saudi sport newspaper in Saudi Arabia. So I will translate it. It says the topic is Magpies continues their own revolution. Newcastle continues. Newcastle team, first team, who is named as Magpies, continues in revolution in Premier League when he went over Crystal Palace 1-0 last night in round 30 on St. James's. Paraguayani player Miguel Almiron scored a great goal in first half to lead Newcastle to make their 9 wins over 13 game in Premier League. Continue to score great results or achieve great results, positive results with English coach Eddie Howe. Newcastle managed to play most of the game. Crystal Palace couldn't make wasn't danger almost. There was no shot on target on the game. But Newcastle couldn't score more goals. But the atmosphere was amazing in St. James Park when the team in number 10th position, just only goal difference. I mean, they are remaining from Brighton, which is only maybe -8. But I think we're gonna beat Brighton by points. All right, that was the translation of the what's been saying in our newspaper. Okay, we have second part of the show, but before we go that, this picture make action all social media and the newspaper and sport. How do you see this picture, Dave? And why do you think other teams are very angry?
Because they think we're celebrating. They think we're having a laugh and celebrating. No, we're not. It's actual. This is what we're saying about building the relationships between the players and the directors and the fans. We love seeing that. We love seeing that. It means a lot. That means an awful lot because you can see all them people together, the togetherness, and that's what's got us through where we are now, the togetherness. So let's not change that. And I don't care what other football teams think. I don't care what other fans think. This is what we love. We love this. We love to see that they're doing this. This photograph is for us fans to see how they are. You can see it on their faces. You can see it on everybody's face. Everybody's smiling and having a laugh because they're enjoying it. They're enjoying the whole spectacle. That's amazing. And I don't care, honestly. I don't care what anybody else thinks. I don't want anybody else commentating on my football club. Come and look at your own football club. Look at how your football club is not connected to the fans. We have become connected with the fans. We have not been connected for 14 years. If Man United supporters don't like it, tough. If Chelsea supporters don't like it, tough. Get your chairman, get your owners to do exactly what our owners are doing, what our team is doing. There's a togetherness. There's a real togetherness here. Let's not forget that. I'm sorry if I'm ranting, but
No,
you know,
take your time.
to me, it's all to do with the togetherness part, and that is what's got us through winning those games which were important. And if we hadn't been together, heaven forbid, we might be looking at getting relegated. But no.
Dave, I didn't.
Yeah. Sorry, Alwyn. Since the 7th of October, we've been as one. We've all been as one since the 7th of October.
No, for me, it's before. But officially 7th October, but before. Dave, I never see anything similar or something like it. Come to my mind, maybe Leicester owner that I owner, the son of the original owner. Maybe when they win FA Cup last year, we see some gathering after the. But this is no champion. And this is different.
Yeah. No, this is like you say. It's just recognizing that we've all had a part to play in keeping the football club in the Premier League. It's not a celebration. It's not a party. There's no drink. There's no alcohol. It's just a very happy photograph. Everybody saying thank you, well done, and they're saying thanks to the fans. That's what it is. It is what it is. Nothing more than that. You know, there's no trophies there. It's not a celebration. There's no trophies there. Just stop being jealous. That's all I'm going to say.
He will never. عبد الرحمن يعني كيف تعبر يعني إذا تبغى بالعربي بالإنجليزي كيف تعبر عن الصورة هذه how you can see what you want to see يعني this I know the picture is speaking of itself but how you describe it from your own words عبد الرحمن.
I will describe it in English and Arabic as well.
Go on.
Starting from the picture, يعني like it is deliver a message that the owner really care about Newcastle. Even Eddie Howe mentioned that Mr. Ramayan went to the dressing room and he said no more, and he was really proud of the team. So this is like, even we didn't get any trophies, but we are with the team, we are supporting, and we are here for Newcastle. صورة تعبر عن نفسها يا أبو تميم يعني. كان الجمهور صراحة شايف جماهير أندية ثانية كانوا مرة زعلانين من الصورة يعني. بعضهم يقولوا أنتوا فرحانين ليش ما أنتوا أخذين أي بطولة ولا أنتوا متأهلين، بس صورة زي كذا تعبر فعلا إنه نيوكاسل مع الإدارة الجديدة مع المدرب إيدي هاو فعلا قاعدين يعملوا حاجة. As you mentioned, the picture speaks itself. So even some other fans, they said, you did not get any trophy, you not have the Premier League or Champion League or something, but this is like express the enjoy from Mr. Ramayan, his Mr. Majid Asroor, and the Newcastle players. So and that's it. And I hope this enjoyment and this happiness will continue, and they will have more and more picture like this.
For me also, in addition to that, it's a great described by Dave and Abdurrahman. This is expression of the whole. Since February 2020, it's like more than 2 years with all what we have been through, all the fights. It's for me. It's together against the world. This is for me a new level of football in recent years. This is something new. I bet there is nothing like it. This combination between players and owner and fans. It's really terrific, and this is explained the 2 years. And for me, and I felt the 2 years or more than 2 years. I felt that all the things we suffered, all the minutes we calculate points, how we are not want to be relegated, and we were afraid. We were at bottom of the league, and no need to mention how Premier League and other top 6 and the one who works behind the curtains, behind the doors. It's a famous sentence.
Yeah.
Talks behind the doors. If you remember, Dave.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is really unique, and I think I wish if Newcastle team will work on some documentary about this, because this is really, this picture really translates. They even said picture instead of 1,000 words, but for me this is picture instead of two period of 2 years of time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you just get emotional. Okay, so let's change the subject.
Very happy.
Yeah, and I didn't want to forget this. Rest in peace, our friend, rest his soul, Christopher. He always loved this picture and send it to me and send me the film. If you remember, Dave, and the video, The Great Escape.
Great Escape.
What do you want to add to this picture, Dave?
It just like, it's funny how this has come up today. When we showed this on our show, when Christopher was still here, we were talking about the Great Escape, and it would be the Great Escape if we got through. And then last night's result confirmed it, really, and the Great Escape was complete. And we always said that Christopher would be watching over us. Christopher, your words said we will not be relegated, and Christopher said, it will be the Great Escape. And there we have it. We're not relegated, and we've done the Great Escape. So our friend Christopher, he was with us last night. He was with us. He would have seen that last night, and he'd be overjoyed. He'd be overjoyed. Thanks, Chris. Cheers, mate.
Dave, regarding and to Abdurrahman, regarding the I know there is games today, but I didn't catch it, unfortunately. Who you think will be relegated?
Burnley and Southampton.
How's the score?
2-0 for Burnley.
Whoa. Okay. So 28 points.
Yeah.
Yes.
They can't catch Everton. They can't catch Everton today, but they can catch them on Saturday. Because
against who? Everton.
Everton have to play Liverpool.
Oh, okay. So
local derby.
Oh yeah. So Liverpool, another win. Liverpool.
So we need to know.
راح يلقم هذه ما فيها.
So I want Everton. I said to you that earlier this season.
Yes.
Norwich,
and I didn't believe
Everton,
you, but you are right.
Norwich, Everton. I want Everton to go down. I want Everton. I want the Scouse Mackhams to get relegated.
So they are the Burnley movement for Sean Dyche sacking. Is it a good choice? Do you think they are just want to do some psychological effect?
Yeah, I think there is a psychological effect on there, because you always get the new manager bounce. The only thing is, it's not a new manager; it's a caretaker manager. Maybe that Sean Dyche was stuck in his ways, because it seems as though if Burnley are winning 2-0, they had a good result the weekend. They should have beat West Ham. But I think, I think Burnley might be trying a few different tactics, because Sean Dyche has been there for so long that they were stuck in their ways, and they've now changed. And I think that could be at the detriment of Everton. So
Burnley now, they are doing now their job. They're part of a Great Escape.
Yeah.
Abdurrahman, what do you think of who's going to be relegated?
Most probably it will be Norwich and Watford, maybe Burnley or Everton. This is my opinion.
Two less, yeah. They are gonna be the fight for opponent. Okay, so okay, that's covered most of what happened yesterday. We're gonna answer the picture last of the show, at the end of the show. Also, this picture is amazing as well. It's like two agents.
Men in Black.
Yeah, exactly. Men in black. No, this is men in black and white.
Exactly.
I should do a poster
what you
regarding it.
mean؟ شوف الصورة اللي أرسلتها لك.
مشكلة ما أقدر أشوفها والله. ترسلها لي خاص، ارسلها لي خاص تويتر عشان أنا معي بالجوال الثاني.
طيب
لأنه الواتساب أنا شغال عليه.
تمام. لو تحط الصورة بقى اللي هي فيها رميان وجيمي روبن ومهرداد، الحين ارسلها لك.
يعني صورة جديدة ولا؟
لا صورة من أمس.
أنا عندي هذه الصورة ذي، عندي هذه الصورة وينها؟
لو تشوف تويتر ارسلتها لك.
هذه هي قصدك؟
No, picture that posted yesterday by Jimmy Robin.
Okay. إيه هذه.
Yes, this one.
Someone sent me this picture and he said the half face in the picture. Is it you, Al-Walid?
No, I believe this is Mr. Majid Al-Surur.
But the quarter of the face, they think it's me. I wish if it's me. Okay, so okay, now we have different في شيء عبد الرحمن على الصورة يعني ولا بس؟
لا هذه أمس حاطها.
إيه هذه كلها نشرناها كلها في تويتر صراحة، وللحين تجيني والله صور ما أدري كيف ما شاء الله نيوكاسل من وين يجيبونها صراحة. I receive a lot of great photos and videos. Everybody sending them to me, and I don't know from where they get it. Okay. Okay, now we have a different thing just to have a little fun with it. Dave here, he went to show us about some great hobby being practiced in Newcastle, which is a scooter, and the word for you, teacher Dave.
Thank you. Yeah, we got talking a couple of weeks ago, and I told you I was in a I just purchased a scooter, my scooter, because it was something I always wanted to do, and because I'm part of the British subculture. Yes, that's pictures of me when I was younger. British subculture with mods, and mods it'd been around for quite a long time. But in the 1960s,
that's you, Dave?
That's me, yeah.
Oh,
I was 18 there.
Which year? That seems very old.
That was 1981.
Oh, before I born.
Get lost. You can't say things like that, man, to an old man.
I'm sorry. Just.
But yeah, so yeah, mods were part of the subculture. Where we used to ride.
Sorry, what do you mean by mods?
Mods, modernists. It's part of the British subculture. You've got we had rockers or greasers who were into rock and roll and Elvis Presley and all that sort of stuff, and they would wear leather jackets, and they'd be a bit more like James Dean or Marlon Brando.
The 80s,
yeah. Then people from the 1960s were more into things like icons such as David Bowie. At the time was called David Jones. There was the Who, Mark Bolan. It was all about being clean, tidy, smart. Whereas greasers were jeans and leather jackets and big motorbikes. Mods, we rode around on Vespas and Lambrettas. Now that has gone on for years, and I've always wanted a scooter, and I bought myself a scooter, and I now ride around on my scooter. I meet up with the lads on a Wednesday night that I haven't met for a long time, or a Tuesday night.
But Dave, how you didn't show me this when I was with you in Newcastle?
Well, it's because it's one of those things that's always been in the background. It's something I do. It's something that you were talking about. What do people in the UK do during the summer? It's one of the things that during the summer that a lot of the scooter clubs that we're part of, we go on scooter rallies. We meet up at different parts of the country, and we ride our scooters down to those parts of the country, and we'll have big meetings, showing off our scooters, what they look like and how good they are, and we raise money for charity by doing charity runs. That's the sort of thing we do in the summer when we haven't got football to look forward to. If you don't love your football, you love your wife. If you don't love your wife, you love your scooters. You know what I mean? So you get out on the road.
Says by Dave Haffrey. All right, Dave. Let's start with our slides and some info you want to share with us.
Yeah. Like I said, it was after the end of World War II that.
Okay, Dave. I will try to translate this story in Arabic.
Yeah,
it's good.
It's
interesting. So I will translate slide by slide. So let's start with this first. Go on.
Yeah. After World War II, British kids wanted to create their own identity. Yeah. And in the 1950s saw the birth of rock and roll, with boys who came on Tony Curtis hairstyles, Teddy Boys and rockers. Rockers were based on the motorcycle gangs of the USA. They wore leather clothing and rode Triumph and BSA motorcycles.
Okay, so you're comparing now. It's happened. I remember my father who studied in 80s in USA, and he said this is bikers were more kind of violence there. Is it same in UK or different?
The same. The same. Yeah, they were because they'd come out of the Second World War and they had money to buy motorbikes and living a bit more freely after the Second World War. So yes, but there was still quite a lot of angry young men around, and motorcycle gangs were notorious for doing races or racing around the streets of the UK, causing mayhem.
طبعا هذه يعني ديف الحين يتكلم لنا عن هوايه هي الدراجات الناريه، بس طبعا هذه البسيطه الخفيفه، ما هي يعني ما هي زي الهارلي وكذا، لا هذه السكوتر تسمى، يعني الدبابات يعني الخفيفه. فيقول لك ان هذه هوايه انتشرت في بريطانيا وفي العالم بعد الحرب العالميه الثانيه، نتيجه انه كرده فعل او الاولاد يبغون شيء يعني نوع من انواع تمرد المراهقه، يعني تقدر تقولون انه يعني يكون في اختلاف بينهم وبين يعني ابائهم. فيقول لك انه مع ثقافه برضو الروك اند رول الموسيقيه في الخمسينات، يعني بدات هذه الثقافه مع الشعر، مع الجروبات، مع التجمع، مع الملابس المختلفه، وانها تشابه برضو نفس الثقافه برضو في امريكا. في امريكا يسمونهم روكرز. So they named in USA rockers, but in UK scooters or same rockers.
In the UK they were in America they were Hell's Angels. In the UK they were bikers or rockers.
Bikers or rockers. Okay. في بريطانيا rockers and bikers.
And they're completely different to the people I followed. You'll see from the next couple of slides.
Okay, Abdurrahman, before we go to the second slides, we have يعني similar in Saudi Arabia يعني regarding bikers, but it's maybe it's smaller group.
Yeah, in some city like maybe in Jeddah or in Dammam, they have some groups for for Harley Davidson and this for riders and for cars. So yeah, I'm not part of these groups, but yeah, they have some activities. They're doing some rides, like they've said.
2012, I do care about Harley Davidson, and I tried for 1 week, and I did some practice course with a motorcycle. But for me, I felt it was difficult because it's very hard to drive Harley in Saudi street. It's very dangerous. So I changed my mind, and I bought a vertical car. All right, so that was our experience, Dave. Let's go on to second slide.
And the second slide is it talks about in the 1960s that obviously because of increased employment, also increased people's personal wealth, and the mod movement had begun in London, and it was mainly focused on music and fashion. Mods, we think of ourselves as more sophisticated, more stylish. We rode Italian style scooters, namely Vespas and Lambrettas, because we wanted to look good. We wanted to still dress smartly. We would ride our scooters in suits and shirts and ties, whereas the bikers and the rockers would ride around in leathers. But that was the thing, and that was how the mods came about in the 1960s. And you'll see from the pictures of the scooters, how the scooters would be, they would be transformed into something more of something stylish. So if you go to the next slide.
Yeah, just to translate this.
Yeah.
طبعا يعني انه نفس النقطة ونفس الموضوع، انه كانت هي وسيلة للتعبير عن الشباب في ذاك الوقت، ويعني نوع من التطور الاجتماعي اختلاف الأجيال، يعني في ذاك الوقت، يعني الحرب ومشاكل الحرب غيرت كثير من النظام الاجتماعي في البلد، وبدأت هذه أو الاهتمام بالبايكات في لندن انتشر في بريطانيا، وكان تركيزه على الموسيقى والأزياء. يرون أنفسهم طبعا جماعات الدبابات أنهم أكثر حداثة أو أكثر بالموضة، كانت هي الموضة لو نقدر نقول هي الموضة في تلك الفترة. وانتشرت برضو ستايلات أو دبابات شكلها من الأنواع الإيطالية زي ماركة فيسبا ولامبريتا. Okay. Is that you, Dave? Or no?
No, that was
I'm joking.
This photograph was taken in 1960 odd.
Let's slide. Yeah.
Yeah. In the 1960s, rivalries became quite tense between the mods and rockers, and in 1960,
what does it mean? Clashed in Brighton? Brighton everywhere.
in 1963 and 1964, on bank holiday weekends, mods would go out on their scooters. They'd go on a scooter rally to Brighton, and what happened was the people on the motorbikes, the rockers turned up on the motorbikes, and there was riots, fighting between the mods and the rockers on the beaches, fighting in the streets, between two British subcultures. Mods didn't like rockers, and rockers didn't like mods. It's very different these days. We're a bit more civilized these days, with nobody fights amongst each other anymore. But back in the 1960s, it was just further more things to do with the tribal rivalries. So it wasn't so much the football; it was actually to do with subculture, and yeah, mods and rockers They first started fighting in Brighton. That's why Brighton is considered to be the home of the mods. Everybody who is a mod wants to go to Brighton.
So always Brighton cause problems.
Always Brighton cause problems. Exactly, they do. They do. Yeah,
Dave, what does it mean by quadrophenia film?
And yeah, in 1979, the rock group The Who brought out a film called Quadrophenia, and what it was about the life of a disaffected young person in the 1960s, and how they coped with the changing world following the Second World War, and how things were changing, and how people were becoming more and more independent. And there was obviously a lot of people being on scooters, people being on motorbikes, and how people were just reacting to life, how life was changing in the 1960s. So Quadrophenia is a film about that. It's about a disaffected young man and how his life has changed by Brighton, by the fighting in Brighton, by different things in life. So Quadrophenia, it's a cult film within the UK, and a lot of people who like The Who have watched Quadrophenia, but it's a good film. It's a good watch. So yeah, I would recommend if you get a chance to watch it. It tells you about the British life as it was in the 1960s.
طبعا ديفيد تكلم عن احداث تاريخيه في موضوع الدبابات، وانه كان صار الموضوع زي نقدر نقول عصابات، او صار في يعني جماعات تختلف مع بعض، يعني اللي في برايتون اللي فصار في نوع من يعني حرب شوارع، يمكن كلمه كبيره حرب شوارع، بس صار في خلاف كبير بين مجموعتين في برايتون، وسووا منها فيلم. حتى الفيلم اسمه كوادروفينيا، يعني تكلم عن هذا الموضوع. يعني يتكلم برضو فتره يعني صارت فيها كثير مشاكل بين يعني قائدي الدرجات الناريه. طبعا راح نسال ديف عن قياده هذا الموضوع، او قياده الدراجات في هذا الحين الهيستوري، هذا التاريخ. راح نساله بعد شوي عن الان كيف الوضع في نيوكاسل. لكن قبل ما اساله يمكن عبد الرحمن يعني اوكي we'll try to Arabic English this thing. يعني انا ما ادري، بس what we have here in Saudi Arabia is much totally different. يعني anyone who drive a motorcycle, he's a friend of another cycle. No rivals, because they are very low numbers. and يعني انا ما ادري، يعني تجمعات، انا شفت تجمع دبابات هم يتجمعون قدام مطعم، يقعدون برا المطعم ساعتين وجوا في المطعم 10 دقائق. يعني هذا اللي اشوفه.
هي يعني شوف مثلا في بعض المدن مثلا، يعني نتكلم لك ممكن عن جدة او بعض ممكن الشرقية، في تجمعات تصير، يعني مش تجمعات المطاعم والشغلات هذه، لا يعني ناس يتجمعوا في اكتيفيتي وفي كذا. فهي تختلف حسب الجروب، يعني حسب الجروب اللي انت طالع معهم. انت وش هدفك من الطلعة هذه؟
صح. انا حتى شفتهم برضو يروحون مثلا خط مثلا من الرياض للدمام.
نعم.
يعني يسافرون يعني في الدبابات. بس صراحة بالنسبة لي مرة يعني خطيرة. we just talking about يعني how يعني we have some activities. They go sometimes from city to city, and also gathering in a coffee shop and stuff. Dave, okay, this is history, but how is this now working now? How's the scooter now in recent days? And speaking of Newcastle.
Yeah, well, that, like I say, that's my current scooter now, and I joined the Newcastle Setting Suns Scooter Club in 1979. 1979, I joined a scooter club. You probably weren't even a twinkle in your dad's eye back in 1979. Not even a thought in your parents' mind of you. You weren't born in 1979.
No,
But no, I'm saying,
yeah.
in 1979, I joined the scooter club. I joined the scooter club, Newcastle Setting Sons. But because of my disability, I couldn't ride a scooter. And it's only because of modern technology, and now that we have scooters that are automatics, you don't need to use gears. It has their own gear systems. So it meant I can now ride a scooter, and I've always wanted to ride a scooter. So I've achieved my life goal of getting a scooter. It's not the best scooter. I mean, I'd love to have a Lambretta, but my scooter cost me just over 2,000 English pounds. An old 1960 scooter, which is what everybody wants to own, can be anything in the region of £5,000 up to £20,000. To own an original scooter, and I just can't afford to buy that. I'm retired. I'm a pensioner now. I can't afford to buy things like that. But I've got a scooter, and I've done something I've always wanted to do. I've achieved the life goal. So it doesn't matter what your life goal is. If your life goal at the minute is not within your reach, then keep at it, because it will come one day that you'll achieve your life goal. And me and you had a conversation the other day, وليد. I'll not go into it, but I've said, if you've got a life goal that's within reach, then you should try and take it. The same goes for you, Abdulman. If you want to come to Newcastle and play for Newcastle and live in Newcastle, it's there. You can do it. You don't have to be held
Someday we'll
back.
do.
Yeah, you don't have to be held back. It took me 43 years to do what I wanted to do, but I was determined that it was going to happen. It happened, and I'm now part of I can now ride alongside my friends who have always been within the scooter club. While they went off on their scooters, I couldn't go off on my scooter. You had to drive there in my car. Now,
Yeah, but didn't travel with it to Brighton.
But I won't travel to Brighton. It's too far to travel to Brighton on a scooter.
Does it need a great message from you? Really appreciate it. Does it need a license for it?
If you've got you can ride a scooter on a full English driving license, but you must complete what's called a compulsory basic training, and that means you've got to complete a course. You don't have to pass a test. If you want a motorbike or a scooter which is greater than 125 cc's, then you have to apply for a full motorbike license. But
okay, so next time, hopefully, inshallah, next time I come to Newcastle, you let me try the scooter.
Yes, I'll let you try my scooter.
Yeah, I have experience of Harley Davidson.
Big difference between a Harley and a scooter, mate. Honestly.
All right, Dave. That was really brilliant, mate, and I really enjoyed this.
So yeah, that's part of my life. That's part of what people in the UK do during the summer, amongst other things. It's one of those spectacles, and we raise money for charity now. We ride together, motorbikers, bikers, and rockers, mods, and whatever. We ride together now. We all respect each other. There's no more fighting anymore. We don't go to Brighton to fight anymore. We respect that everybody else has got a nice motorbike or a nice scooter.
And I believe you have the language of group.
Yeah.
The whole group, and this is one of the things I like about motorcycle. They have language. It's like football. There is tactics. The one who's a sweeper, the one who there is right bump on the street, there is lifts, and this is language. You have the same language of motorbikes.
Yeah, we have a common respect for each other, and the rules of the road and how we behave on the rules of the road. So yes, there's all that. It's all part of them. We all help each other. That's great. So
That's
thank you
great.
for letting me share that with yourselves and your friends. And you must do exactly the same. You know, there must be something in your lives, you know, that you're proud of doing and that you've achieved. So mine's the first one. Let's see something from yourself and something from you, Abdulman. You kind of get out of this neither. You know, there must be something in your lives that you because let's look at this way. Christopher, our friend Christopher, he got to see the takeover. He got to live in London. He got to get his passport. They were his life goals, and he achieved those life goals before he left us. We look at our life goals. We look to try and we take those in hand, and we, you know, when you get the opportunity, do it, because, you know, if it's something you've aimed for in life, take it when you can, take it, because we don't know what's round the corner. We spoke to Christopher on the Saturday night, and the Sunday morning he was gone. We don't know what's round the corner. So live life to the full and take your opportunities when you can. And that's coming from an old guy.
No, you are a young guy, Dave. Thank you, Dave, for this. Abdurrahman, any comment before we go to a question?
No, for me,
You like the
only
topic?
thing I'm thinking about now how I can go to Newcastle again. That's it.
Good lad.
Great. So we have some. We'll end the show with some question. We have Nearly Vanilla says here. Saint Maximin needs another striker who talented and much better to challenge him. Then he will show what his real potential are. What do you think, Dave?
Yeah, I agree. He's got to have somebody who's ready to take his position. I don't know who that could be, though. You know what I mean? I don't know what sort of player would actually fill that position.
You are still a looker, Dave.
No, I'm not. I've got no hair.
استمر باللغة العربية. طيب. طيب. Okay, evening, Tom. Actually, it's most comments more than a question.
See, everybody's following me now.
Everybody
wants Everton to go down.
barely 3. Oh.
They disallowed.
Damn.
Okay, so since there is no much questions, so next game, Saturday, against
Norwich
in field. So your expectation, Dave? For me, what's make me calm or not worry regarding? Okay, we are not really about relegated now, but we are worried that there is some decrease of the enthusiasm since we are not being relegated. But I think now we don't have to fear this because the players now want to prove themselves, they can fight, because this language of just play for not to be relegated, this will end this year. Next year, this is not acceptable. Next year, we want to fight for first 7 positions.
Mm-hmm. I think what you've got to remember is that those players who played last night were the same team who started on Sunday, were the same players who started on the Sunday before that, the Monday before that. You've got to think that those players have played 3 very tough games in the space of 10, 11 days. You know, they've played within that time. They've played 3 very hard games, and you know we've had to work hard in all of those 3 games to get those 9 points. Those 9 points have saved us. So it wouldn't surprise me if when we play Norwich on Saturday, that we play a rotated squad. because the week after, don't forget, we've got Liverpool at Newcastle, and we're going to need our best players ready for Liverpool. Do you want to risk any of those players against Norwich in a meaningless game? I don't think so. Last year, we were very critical of a lot of the teams around us last year and the year before, because teams that we wanted to play well rested players against the other teams who were in the bottom three around by where we were, and they didn't, and those teams got beat, and we were quite angry about it. But now I can see it from the opposite way, that we've got to go into this game against Norwich. You're going to have some players who are going to be put on in that team who are going to have to prove themselves that they want to be here next season. You know,
Do you
if
think
they want to be here next season, I can see players like Dan Burn being rested and Jamal Lascelles coming in. I can see players like Almiron being rested and Murphy playing, Maxi rested and Willock playing. We will not play our first team because we need those players fit for Liverpool. So next week, I think there could be an opportunity for us to change the team. I still think we'll have more than what Norwich can do. I still think, you know, I don't think we'll get beat. I don't think we'll win, but I can't see we're getting beat off Norwich next Saturday. But I would retain our best players for the week following when we play Liverpool, because I would love it if we could beat Liverpool at St James's Park. I would love it if we can beat Liverpool at St James's Park.
Yeah, all does.
Amaxi and Almiron and all our best players.
Yes, because and we changed the title. We changed the title direction.
Yeah, Trippier might well play against Norwich. You know, we don't know where Trippier might play against Norwich, or Trippier might be fit to play against Liverpool. Let's see. Let's hope we've got all our best players available for Liverpool.
Yes.
So I'm not bothered with Norwich. I'm sorry. For me,
I don't think they will rush Trippier, because, you know, there is World Cup and he's still, Liverpool is going to be a very hard game. But we'll see. We'll see. Abdurrahman, what do you expect to see in coming games, starting from Norwich, after being secure that we are not be relegated?
I'm totally agree with Dave. We need to give the first line to be rested. Like, we have some players on the bench. They need to have the chance, like Dawood Guy, like Gale, like Willock, like Longstaff. They need to have this chance, because we need them to be more focused and to put their 100% effort in Liverpool, so we can at least get 1 point from that, or we can win.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, for me, I think it's gonna be interesting weeks now. We want to see different. Playing under the pressure is gone now, so we should be better, because we are gonna play off pressure. So we're expecting to see great results, and I can't wish if Manchester City take the. I know this is maybe not relevant, but I wish to beat Liverpool and also to give the title to Manchester City. Why? Because they were only maybe team wasn't against us in this takeover. Tomorrow, inshallah, we'll have a special show with Argentinian mag. Tomorrow we're gonna do, because, you know, Group C in World Cup, we have Argentina, we have Mexico, and we have Poland. So I managed to have Newcastle lads from Argentina who support Newcastle since Bobby Robson era, and I think maybe before. And also we have the Mexican Tone Army from Mexico. Some lads will join us tomorrow, and I'm still trying to find Poland or Polish lad, and they're still trying to do this. And maybe we have Brazilian as well to talk about Bruno and this story. Tomorrow we'll take details about Paquita and Bruno, partnership possibility and positive and negative for Newcastle. Would like to thank Dave for the show today, our weekly show, and Abdurrahman for joining us tonight. And inshallah, we have a different topic and different news, positive news, inshallah, next week. So have a nice weekend. Enjoy your weekend. Thank you all for watching. And good night. Hawaii the lads.
Hey, the lads.
Yes, guys.
Thank you, Al-Walid.
Yes.
Have a good night, Dave.
And you, Abdurrahman.
Okay. See you then.